Hoses.
General hoses are properly mounted and secure on both ends. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and it's not leaking.
Yeah, for hoses, it's supposed to be not leaking.
Yeah. This is your alternator.
With the red.
Yes.
Come to school with me. Good morning.
Oh, I didn't get through all that. Basically, shoes, probably mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. At least a 1/4 inch of friction material. Drum, probably mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. There is no oil on the shoes or drum. Which, whenever I took my pre-trip to just see if I know what I'm teaching,
Would you be
I
able to
missed
say
that.
no illegal welds on there also, or no?
Illegal welds on what?
On the drum itself? Since
Why?
it's part of the rim, I guess, like system, like wheel.
The rim cannot be welded.
Yeah, I know.
They didn't say a drum can.
Okay, alright.
But it's cast iron. There's a zoomed in version of that slack adjuster. It's basically the same thing. Okay, here's the S-cam attached here. So if that S-cam breaks inside that pipe, you wouldn't know it unless you pulled on that slack adjuster and felt that it went like 5 inches down, not doing anything.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so here's the shoe and drum. So you have one shoe down here, one shoe up here, the drum runs around here, and the S-cam's coming out of this slack adjuster through that pipe right in between them. So whenever that shoe gets pushed in from the bottom, it just pushes out towards the drum. Then whenever you relax, it comes back down. So those are the next pieces we're talking about, is the shoe and drum. Now you see that gap between the shoe and drum? That means the brakes are not applied. Nobody's foot's on the brake right now. So the shoes are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. This black material on the outside, there's the piece of metal, here's the black material. That's a friction material. It needs to have at least a 1/4 inch of friction material to absorb the heat it has to. If it gets less than a 1/4, it'll just flake off, break off, and melt off. So we need to make sure we have at least a 1/4 inch of that friction material on those shoes to be able to stop. In fact, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a ridge here, right at a 1/4.
How often do you change the drum? Or do you ever change the drum?
I've never changed the drum on a tractor trailer.
Okay.
On my car, every time it broke. If you're not cracked, bent, or broken, you cannot weld or drill holes in them. Then we have a spring mount attached to that frame, which needs to be properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and not missing any of these bolts. Like he was saying on the video, if you see on this side that there's 2 bolts and an empty hole, and you go to the other side and you see 3 bolts, you're missing one of your bolts on this side that only has 2. So if you see an empty steering column, you're saying all kinds of things different than you are the others, so don't include that. But the steering column. It basically goes from your steering wheel up here to the gearbox to tell it which way to push that push rod. Pitman arm. Alright, the steering column is properly mounted, secure, not at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken. No more than 10 degrees of free play. He said 10%. I don't know what that meant. Doesn't move more than 10%. I don't know what that means. But 2 inches on the steering wheel is standard. Alright? I don't know if he misspoke during that J.J. Keller video or not, but I picked it up that he said 10%. And it's 10 degrees is our training. Alright, we have a pitman arm attached to that gearbox, a drag link attached to that pitman arm with this cast nut cotter pin, and this this tie rod is attached to what this is called a steering knuckle. It's not in the Pennsylvania test.
Is that the unique side? The steering knuckle?
What do you mean unique side?
It's like the alternator side. From where the
This
top
is
right-
still on the driver's side.
It's on the driver's side.
Right,
so
because there's the drag link.
Okay, that's the what? So it's
Drag link.
I'll see. Okay, never mind. It makes sense.
So the drag link attaches here to turn this wheel, and this attaches to turn the wheel. This is on here to move the other tire. Now the other one, yeah.
That's the old one.
The steering gearbox probably on secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. No missing nuts or bolts, no abrasion, bulges, cuts. What? And hoses. So we're checking this air compressor. See this square block top? That is an indication of a air compressor. Had to check myself. Air wire showing, and we're going to check the free play on that belt again, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. All right, so it has wires at the back of it. So we're looking for an item that typically is driven by a belt that has wires coming out of the back. That's typically your water pump. Now this one,
Come on, Big G.
thank you. You could say not dry rotted. It shouldn't be dry rotted. And pulls it up over and up into this pump. So this is your water pump. It circulates the coolant water through your engine to cool it off. And then on the other side, there's another hose that goes to the top of the radiator to put it back through the radiator to be cooled again. So this water pump needs to be properly mounted and secured to the vehicle so it doesn't fly off. It's made of metal so it's not cracked, bent, or broken. It has a fluid inside so it's not leaking. And you need to tell the examiner how it's driven. If it's belt driven, you need to inspect the belt to make sure it doesn't fail during your drive. So we're going to say this is belt driven today, but most people say it's gear driven off of this, and I don't know what this is if it's not the water pump. But anyways, the belt needs to be properly mounted and secured, not worn, torn, or frayed. We wouldn't say bulging because there's nothing inside of it. It has to be not too tight, not too loose. Just like the belt on your pants. All right, too tight, it hurts you. So too tight, it would hurt the pulleys and the items it's drawing. Too loose, and my pants fall down. Too loose, and the belt just doesn't do its job. It doesn't turn the pulleys. So 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of free play is good for a belt on pants and a belt on a truck. So here is another water pump right here. Okay, all the hoses on the engine. Every single hose on that engine. Now, for your first pre-trip of the vehicle that you're buying, you might want to look them all over before you just drive it home and it breaks down. Okay, look them over real thoroughly. So it's going to take you about a 1/2 hour. You're about to buy this truck for $100 and some thousand. So look them over. But during your pre-trip, you're looking for anything that could possibly be leaking, any abrasions, anything rubbing. Everything is secured at both ends. So for the state test, all my hoses are properly mounted and secured at both ends, not either worn, torn, frayed, or bulging, or you could say abrasions, bulges, or cuts, which means the same thing. None of them are leaking. Okay? For the inspection, whenever you're a driver going to the road, you're just looking at everything to make sure it looks just like it did yesterday. It ran for 10 hours yesterday, right? Yep. I don't see any new damage to these hoses all over the place. It just takes a few seconds to just look for something different. All right, so all my hoses are probably mounted and secured at both ends. No abrasions, bulges, cuts. None are leaking. Right there. All right. Now, this is my dipstick. For the exam, you need to indicate where that dipstick is and tell them you will check your oil level to make sure it's above add.
So you don't have to pull it out during the exam?
Not to explain the pre-trip.
Okay.
Now, to do a pre-trip, yes. But to explain it, you just indicate where it is. That means you don't have to carry a rag with you. All right. This is another type of truck. It's another dip. It's not going to get you any points. All right. It's not going to lose you any points. What you're going to tell them is they are all properly mounted and secured to my vehicle. In other words, they're not going to fly off while I drive down the road. They're hard plastic or glass, so they're all not cracked, bent, or broken. Now, do lights work if they're covered in mud? No, so you tell them they're clean. And they have to be amber on the sides and front of a vehicle, red on the rear. These are on the what?
Front.
So they are amber in color. Okay? So this is what he's going to be looking at on his sheet. Did he say left turn signal? Underline. Right turn signal? Underline. Four ways? Underline. Headlights? Underline. High beam? Underline. Clearance lights? Underline. He gave me the functions of all the lights. Now, did he say they are clean, proper color, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and clean again. So, yeah, these were written up real quick. Yes.
Oh.
I don't know if they showed you yet or not.
These,
But I haven't been shown, so I didn't know. But I needed to know this. You see
50%.
You see these hoses hanging
Yeah.
right here?
Yeah.
These are your airlines.
Airlines.
Make sure they're 14 inches up off the ground.
14 inches up off the ground.
And then I forgot what they said these were.
These are rivets.
Rivets.
Yep.
Rivets, yeah.
I think I'm gonna need this to make video.
Okay.
This is not DOT tape. This is reflector tape.
Okay. And it's supposed to be 50% on the
50 on
side,
the side and then
100 in the back.
But make sure you call this reflector tape.
Okay, reflector
Not
tape.
DOT tape, because we got told it's DOT tape. Come out here and you get told it's reflector tape.
Okay.
What the hell?
Right?
So your mud flaps have to at least be 6 inches off the ground.
Mud flap 6 inches. Okay. 6 inches off the ground.
And then
I'm not
that's the
joking.
Header board.
header board.
Header board, the brake chamber, the U-bolt.
So it ain't in here, the brake drum not in it? Oh, this is the brake drum.
The brake drum
Okay.
inside the wheel. So the power steering, the coolant,
Hell no.
230 seconds and 430 seconds in the front.
And then axle, right?
Yes.
Axle. Because I remember
Axle.
you said the rubber one was the
Coupling system.
Couple of systems. So your airlines, your service lines.
Oh yeah, an emergency. Oh yeah.
Emergency, yeah.
And what was between there again?
This is the
They painted over
Most.
the rust instead of
where you get all your points at mainly.
fifth
Okay.
and locking jaw.
The shank.
The shank.
You also want to mention any requirements.
No gap between the aprons. General
General
hoses
hoses.
are properly mounted
Secure
secure
on both
on both
ends.
ends.
Mhm.
No abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and it's not leaking.
Okay.
Yeah, for hoses, it's supposed to be not legal. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your alternator.
With the red.
Yes, it has a wire in the back.
Okay.
It's not worn, torn, or frayed.
Okay.
Properly mounted, secured, not cracked. This is your exhaust. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Take it on there.
Mm-hmm.
This is the locking pins. This is
Your locking pins.
the skid plates on top.
Skid plates on top. Make sure it's oil. I mean, what is it?
Yeah, make sure it's, some of them be oil.
Okay, yeah.
See if it's oil or not. Yes. You look right here.
What's this? The
Like this?
yeah,
That's the frame.
the frame. What's these called? Like the bolt, just bolt.
Just say no miss. There's
No
universal
missing
bolts, but yeah.
The bolts.
Just no missing bolts.
So bolts. Oh, okay. The
These
airbags. Mhm.
That's a leaf spring hanger.
Leaf spring and leaf spring hanger. No legal welts here.
Then you got what's that bar right
I
there?
think that's your shock absorber right there.
Oh yeah, this. I forgot. Yep, the shock absorber. Shock absorber.
Same thing. Non-screw on both ends.
This is your drive shaft and
Sorry.
torque arm.
Wait, which one is the drive shaft?
Drive shaft right
Drive
here.
shaft.
Torque arm.
Torque arm. Or torsion bar. Or
Torsion.
rope.
Torsion up front.
Yeah.
So this is your torque.
Torsion.
Torsion.
Then you got
Torsion.
So would you fail if you say that? Like if you call this a torque bar?
lines, you got
Would you fail?
this.
I mean not fail, but
I'm just saying, they're the same fucking thing. Where the torque at?
up there.
There ain't a difference.
It's not. They do the
It's
same
name
thing.
they gave you.
Yeah.
They put a bar back here where the road was called a torsion.
Oh, okay.
Airlines.
Torques in the front,
Airlines.
torsions in the back.
Non-screw both ends.
And then these. What's these?
Abrasion,
Your,
bulges, or cuts.
oh yeah.
Pumpkin, that's a pumpkin.
Go down to that. What's
Come
that
in.
called? Again.
Let me hear.
The brake head. I'm not
Dirt brake.
Brake chamber.
brake heads. Oh, the airlines. Yeah. Properly mounted, secured on both
Got a yellow
ends.
jacket right at your belly.
Then what's
It's behind you now, right there.
Big. They out here.
right?
Um,
The mechanized. What's it do?
I'm on or.
You got your slack adjuster
It is
push
big.
rods. You got
That's a B?
slack adjuster
No, it's a
push rods.
oh, mom. Oh.
Every chamber has a slack adjuster.
What's
I
these-
mentioned all your
what-
wires. This is your cross.
Yeah, cross members.
You need cross members.
It's what? 5 of them? Or 4?
Brake chamber.
You got five.
Slack adjuster push rod.
Oh, okay.
You got the S cam. They don't want to say that.
What lights is these again?
Your mud flaps.
Your mud flaps. They're how many inches off the ground? 6? Okay, 6 inches.
I see you. You teach me.
Yeah,
How much
that's
your
a
brake
spring
light,
brake
right?
system.
The red ones are the brake lights.
Red, reverse is white.
Okay, the reverse light is white. This is for the license plate light.
That's for your license
I'll
plate.
go to
That
the
has to be
shock.
white.
White.
What's this?
Okay, now what about?
Yeah, I'll go
What's this for?
The reflector lights,
Reflector.
50%.
100% on the back, right?
100. Yeah, you're right, sorry. 100%. They're clean. Oh yeah, 50 up there too.
What's
100 up there, right?
No, 50. Yeah.
On the trailer. Tractor.
On a tractor.
You know that
I mean, is this a U-bolt right here? The U-bolt? Right here.
That's why I said that's what tires like. Show me.
Right here. These are U-bolts.
Yeah.
For
All rivets are accounted.
Yeah.
All rivets are accounted for.
all rivets are counted for, not cracked or broken. Clearance lights are amber in color.
You wanted to see me that video.
Okay.
Under there, that's your kingpin.
Under is your kingpin, properly mounted, secure, not cracked or broken.
Kingpin goes to
Your landing gear. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah, your apron.
Right here.
Just that whole thing right
Yeah,
here.
right
Oh,
there.
your apron.
That plate slides on the fifth wheel.
That plate slides on
That's
the
what
fifth wheel.
go
Right?
into
Oh,
the
yeah,
locking
that.
job.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it have it? Wait, you said it's called a plate? What's it called?
Apron.
Oh, your
Under
apron.
there.
Okay, yeah, that's your apron. No, that's your
That's the
apron.
kingpin. You got your landing gear. over
Your
there.
landing gear.
All rivets accounted for.
All rivets.
Reflecting
is
tape,
kind of a
50%.
reflective tape, 50%.
Each side.
Each side.
Your
Your landing gear, properly mounted, secured, not cracked or
It's in the
broken.
lock position, right?
Yeah, it's in a lock position.
Trust me, if the white is on the highway, that's not somebody's doing.
Heck yeah.
We watch the videos when they uncoupled, when they uncoupled it right, and the whole tractor fell off.
Oh yeah, in the middle of the
In the
street.
middle, yeah.
That's what I was about to ask. What's these? These is cross members, right? Okay, cross members.
That make up the trailer's front.
These are
Okay.
Turn signal light.
Turning signal lights, amber in color.
Color clear debris.
These. What was these?
Your airline.
Airlines. Well, don't they have to be
16
six,
inches.
okay, 16 inches above the ground? Your airline.
Okay, what's that?
This what was this? I forgot.
That's the release.
Your release.
That's the release arm.
Your release arm. That's your release arm.
So what happened? It moved by itself? How it worked?
Well,
I
you
think
gotta
you-
pull it up to readjust the wheels.
Okay.
Okay, that's for the wheels. Okay.
Right, tandem.
You see, they're the locking pins.
You have to mention that.
If it's a sliding fifth wheel, yeah.
Alright, what's this right here?
That's a hub seal.
That's the
Your
hub
hub
seal.
seal.
Not the hub cap.
Hub seal.
Hub
So we was
seal.
saying hubcap.
It's on the tractor.
Okay.
The drive tires and the exercise tires on the tractor, they're called axle seal inner and outer. These are hubs because they're just like the front tires. You guys stick your finger.
How many?
Mud flaps.
How many inches they gotta be off the?
6.
6 inches.
6
6 inches off the ground. Properly mounted, secured. No, it's not
That's
worn,
what
torn, or
they're
frayed. What? Oh yeah. What's this
That's
for?
your doors open.
Okay.
Trailer doors.
Does it have it like what you have to
Some
say
of them
to
are a chain. Another one there's a peg.
it? Okay.
So just make sure that the chain probably not secure. Cap and unbroken.
I don't know why they make you say all that shit.
Right?
No, 'cause
Yeah, 100% on the back.
Mm-hmm. 100% on the
On the ICC board.
ICC board.
ICC board.
ICC board.
ICC
Oh yeah,
bumper.
okay.
DOT bumper.
DOT bumper.
You gotta open the door.
You got to.
No.
Got
You just gotta show them that it locked.
Open it 'cause I don't want nothing coming out of
to-
that.
Yeah, right.
'Cause this has been here since the Stone Age.
So you don't really what You don't really have to say much for back here, do you?
Oh, is the chain on the side?
Yeah.
That's where it locks to.